Do you have a vision of your future and where you're going? But let's go through some of the things that I do to create the vision. But once you know what your passion is and what you want out of life, then I think it's really important to have a vision. I'm talking about a vision where you can see the future, not see the future. You know what you want in the future, and you know what it looks like. So here's what I do after I know what my passion is. I basically dream about the future of what I want my life to look like in 10, 20, 30 years. Because of the passions I have, it's easy to then dream, or I would say daydream, that basically becomes a vision for me, because then I start working out the details of what that's going to look like and how I'm going to get there. The first thing I do is I look at that long-term dream and what the passion is, and then I start to visualize where I want to be. And I go into more detail about it, thinking about exactly what that looks like. How am I going to get there? Once I can visualize that long-term goal, then I come back to basically day one. And I say, okay, what do I need to do today? And what do I need to do this week? What do I need to do to learn how to take these first steps? That was number one for me. The very first day really was getting onto Wealthy Affiliate and looking at their courses, their classes, all the things they have to offer in the community. And within a day or two, I was sold. Wealthy Affiliate is a tool that I use to learn how to build websites. So that was day one and week one. And so I started doing a lot of training, a lot of research. I was just soaking everything up. And within the first week, I had built my first website. So that was a very short-term vision of learning how to create these online businesses that I'm working on today. Then I take a step back and I look at, what am I going to do in a year? What do I expect in a year? And how am I going to get there? And then I also look at 2 years and 5 years. And I keep laying out this plan with all these steps of what I need to do throughout the years. And so I'll take notes. And I'll list, especially everything this year, I'll list what I need to do or think I need to do, and plus the goals where I want to be. And you have to take these steps, and you really have to back it up to, what am I going to do today to get to where I want to go? How is my visualization of the future and of my goals work out in practical measures today? And sometimes I find myself saying, well, I'll do it tomorrow. But when you're building a business and you're creating something big, it's up to you. You've got to take the first step, and you got to keep taking steps after that. And then after a month, after a year, I go back to that list and I look at what I accomplished and didn't accomplish. And then I'll rewrite it. I'll figure stuff out. I'll mark off the things that I accomplished, and then I'll list those things that I have to do now or for the next year or next month. So it's a constant process of knowing what I'm passionate about, and sometimes your passions do change. But it's also a constant process of continually taking steps. And man, sometimes life gets in the way, and it did in a big way with Mike and myself. Well, man, life got in the way big time for him and I both about a year ago. And we both took at least a half a year off and didn't create anything. But then we got right back into it and picked up where we left off and kept going, because you're going to have things that interrupt you in life. But it's not those interruptions that really matter. It's what you do with them and how you respond. You need to know what you want, what your passion is. If you're not passionate and you don't have that vision of where you're going, then at some point you may hit a brick wall or have writer's block. And your website just might crash and burn because you've lost momentum or enthusiasm or a passion for what you're doing. So again, going back to the last video, find your passion. Next, after you know what you want and what you love, then start visualizing it. See where you're going to go. Know how you're going to get there. Look at the steps, short term and long term, and start putting action to your dreams. If you just dream your whole life and don't take active steps to get there, then you're what I call a dreamer. And there's nothing wrong with dreaming, but there's too many people that dream and don't do anything about it. My question to you is, are you going to do something about it today